Hello and welcome back. Good that you have reached to this level. Good going, keep going. And in our today's session, we are going to see how to engage and nurture relationships with your ideal audience, and how to engage, not only how to engage and nurture your customer relations, but how to have great customer service, how to create a unique customer experience and lasting customer relations. So ready? Take a paper and pen and make a note. So as every business owner knows, like it is much harder to get a client than is to keep a client. To keep a client or to retain your client, uh, the cost is much higher. You must keep your clients happy and engaged. So most companies use lead nurturing strategies for marketing courses and programs with the goal of moving prospects through the sales funnel using emails or social media to offer content, promotions, and personal touch points. See, a study done by the Harvard Business School has found that increasing customer retention rates by 5 percentage increases the profit by 20 to 95 percentage. Isn't that fantastic? If you increase the retention rate by 5, if you are getting 25 to 95 percentage profits, then that's something awesome. Interesting, right? The study is quite interesting. And so a relationship is only built to last if it's well maintained, right? Like any other relationship. Do you all agree or not? Yes. So good customer service or experience is the interaction that you provide to your customer before, during, and after the purchase. Okay. And what happens is that the type of business you operate will determine how much time should be devoted to nurturing customer relationships versus lead generation and finding new clients. Whether your business is primarily transactional or if you enjoy high repeat customers and recurring revenue, the marketing nurture life cycle highlights the various stages at which email programs or social campaigns may be used for engagement. So we'll focus on engaging and retaining the customers in today's session. So I'll quickly share my screen here, and these are certain engaging um, engaging and retaining customers. Okay, so what you have to do is, um, see, first one is customer onboarding. These are just few steps which are helpful in engaging and retaining your customers. So what is this customer onboarding? See, whenever you get a new client, you get a new student, welcome the new clients and set expectations for interactions. Send a welcome to the family, or welcome to the group, or welcome aboard email, as well as reach out. Include contact info and highlights about your key services and benefits. Prepare a touch point email that allows clients to learn about the products or service they purchased. Include product instructions or service instructions, how to get support, ways to engage or learn from other customers. If you offer complimentary products or services or bonuses, begin to make suggestions to start the cross sell or upsell conversation. So that is what you have to do in customer onboarding. Then what is this satisfaction or product improvement surveys? How are they going to help you in engaging and retaining your customers? See here, what you can do is talk about what's coming down the line. You already got customers, right? So people will love to hear and listen to. So prepare a short survey to get their inputs. How did they experience the classes? What would make it easier? Are they finding any difficulty? How do they like the product, and what suggestions or improvements do they have? Keep it brief, under 10 questions and less than 5 minutes, and make sure to you tabulate those data because it is useful in many ways. So you might have seen me doing that inside the group calls. I collect information on and off. So that is to know like your level of satisfaction and ways of improving my surveys. The third way of engaging and retaining your customer is through loyalty and customer referral programs. See, here you get them to be your spokesperson or your ambassadors or your fans. Prospects love to hear from customers, and ask your key clients if they are willing, if they will allow you to use their name and quote in your marketing, and offer to let them write or participate in a blog or article or case study on your behalf. Start a refer a friend program and add this to your customer emails or newsletters or incentive, in give them some incentives with some discounts or promotion or pure awards or gifts or some product or maybe price points, something like that. Now, conduct some periodic announcements or news or information or product updates. Keep your customers fully informed. See, use customer newsletters or emails to provide periodic updates about your business, its products or service. For example, has your business reached a pivotal milestone? Inform them. Are you launching a new product or update your product? Inform them. How will it affect them? Did current clients help shape the new release? Highlight upgrade options and promotional discounts just for them. Provide pre-renewal communications to remove any obstacles at the renewal time, or ease the process. So because researchers reveal that engagement and relationship strength has 12 times more influence on retention and repeat purchases than satisfaction. So customer satisfaction comes only when you engage and retain them. When you see that like they are satisfied, you are listening to them, you are making them part of your business. You are the face of your company, right? So you have to engage with them. So overall, by deploying these simple touch points through email or social media or direct mail or in person, your customers will feel like they are important and valued, and it will give them engaged with your company. They will form a bond with your company. And apart from the above mentioned steps, like there are few other ways that will help you keep your audience engaged and nurtured. We'll see them in a while. One second. See, what you can do is, yes. So first of all, these are some general things which you need to take care of. Be polite and courteous, because that is a basic requirement. That is a de facto requirement. It is expected by every customer in the marketplace, not only in your marketplace but in the business world. It is there. So customers want immediate answers, and they expect answers without being passed on to someone else. So what happens is, a great customer experience comes from an authentic customer experience, and that is much powerful. We all have heard of fake news, right? So being uh, bring authenticity, be real, and uh, show the truth of emotion in the interaction with the customer while handling them, because at the same time providing a great customer experience, and that also needs to be authentic and genuine. And how often have you gone back to a shop or a company not because of its name or brand, but because you had a very pleasant and genuine interaction with a staff member there? Have you experienced such a thing? The opposite is also true as well. You would not go back because of a negative experience. In both cases, the brand is the recipient of the positive or negative experience. So give your customers or audience a good experience. Are you getting my points? The final element is showing the power of reciprocity. As long as it is done in a genuine and authentic manner, it will help you. In social psychology, reciprocity is a social, sorry, cut. Reciprocity uh, is a social, uh, sorry for that call. See, reciprocity is a social rule that says people feel the need to repay in kind what another person has provided for them. See, always try to give back and reciprocate. For example, help a potential customer with their queries. Provide advice that will not necessarily result in a sale for you. Who knows? That person may turn your customer later or may refer someone to you. Haven't we heard the givers gain policy? That needs to be maintained here. Apart from all these, there are some social media strategies to engage supporters and build community. See, all these about things like which we discussed is for one-to-one interaction with your customers. Now we'll talk about some social media strategies. See, here also express your gratitude. That is very important. See, one shout out on social media can go a long way in making supporters feel appreciated. By dedicating time to say thanks, not only does a great job of making your student and supporters feel appreciated, but you also make your programs all the more appealing to potential students who view the images of all the appreciation in the social media. Follow the golden rule in your social media practices, that you treat your followers as you would hope to be treated by another person or entrepreneur or organization. That is a golden rule. See, if you follow this mentality, you will know how good it feels when an organization or an entrepreneur directly responds to you or acknowledges your support. Not only that, see, work to delight your supporters, your best students, your loyal clients with shout outs and direct comments and messages to make sure for relevant hashtags to gain exposure. You know what? I'll see, the very first time when I posted a comment in Russell Brunson's, I hope you all heard of Russell Brunson. He is the funnel king. He is the CEO of ClickFunnels company. So his company is earning, millions of dollars a year and millions of dollars a month, and he is the most humblest guy I have ever seen. Yes, most humblest entrepreneur, in fact. Because I had this notion earlier in my life that if you are a successful entrepreneur, you don't talk to people, you don't smile at them, you are something, big, and people, at least entrepreneurs whom I have seen, they just show off. But Russell Brunson is one of the humblest guy I have ever seen till now, and I have immense respect for that quality of him. So what I was telling here was that, see, the very first time I posted a comment in his social media, and he replied back, even like with tagging my name, and I felt so good, so happy, and so when you get the when you get a message or a comment from such a important personality, uh, can you I don't know how to explain that feeling. Like, I felt so happy and so important. So that is the same case with our students also, your clients. So take care of them, message them, write comments on their social media whenever you can, reciprocate to their gestures, and that will take you a long way ahead in building your relationship with your ideal audience, and to engage with them and build your community. So the second method for second strategy to engage your supporters and build your community is through exclusive groups. In order to continue engaging with your premium customers or alumni, for example, you can set up a private Facebook group to help keep them connected and facilitate a continued dialogue about their learnings. In that dedicated space or group, like, students can discuss industry relevant news, continue their learning, and the group's activities keeps their experience with you top of mind despite having already graduated from your class. There are a lot of people who do that. You know what happens? I have seen a lot of coaches who retain their students as permanent members. You can pay a small amount every year, and as long as you pay that yearly, you remain with their community, enjoying the community benefits as well as your course updates. um, so that is one way. Another great way is, like, you have a separate group for them and you give some extra inputs. I have seen paid groups where, like, see, they already have one main group and then a paid premium group where they offer premium services. So there are various methods of doing exclusive groups, but the main intention behind all these exclusive groups is that you have to you are keeping your supporters or your students engaged, and you are building your community. Because if you are able to retain them, they bring in more students, bring in more referrals for you. Clear? How do you find this interesting? Cool. Okay. So going forward to the focused engagement, that is the third strategy to keep your community engaged. See, rather than trying to have a presence on every channel, focus on the platforms that your supporters are more active on. This will allow you to commit your time and energy to the places that matter most. Because I dedicate most of my time on social media to Facebook and Instagram. However, I also maintain a presence on LinkedIn and use it as a tool to keep a pulse on industry news. So what happens here is, like, you will focus your engagement with your target audience. All right. Okay, now the fourth strategy is customized content. We talked a lot about content, but what is this customized content? See, each channel, each target audience needs different content, different ways of approach. So take special care to customize your content specifically to the focus of each channel. For example, share relevant industry articles with your Facebook fans to inform and spark discussion. This approach uh, will not be effective on Instagram, because Instagram is basically a channel designed for visual content. In my experience, posts that are designed with a specific channel in mind tend to perform better. By taking time to differentiate your approach and writing specific teasers, you can deliver each message in a way that matches the expectations of the channel's users. So that is what you mean by customized content. Based on your target, based on the channel where your target audience is hanging out the most, you have to decide what type of content you need to create most and where you need to spend most of your time. Clear? Cool. Now, the fifth strategy is industry news. See, occasionally share your industry news, the latest info, the current happenings, the trends, the future changes, etc. for your audience. They would love to know all that. Posting of educational and timely content establishes you as a reliable industry source in the eyes of your supporters or audience. And this also helps your followers understand how you fit into the big picture movement. And the sixth strategy is authenticity. See, when your audience asks for some information, and if you do not know that, tell you do not know. This approach makes your posts genuine, unique, and generally informative. See, when you share valuable content and not just self-serve content, your channels become a place for supporters to look to and rely on for information. Strive to maintain authenticity and you will ensure the information you share remains personable and relatable. Be always real and genuine. People prefer real faces of brands. We are all humans. We have flaws. We make mistakes. We fail. We win. We have feelings and express emotions. So present the real you in front of your audience. Don't try to become somebody who you are not. All right. Yeah. Coming to the seventh strategy to engage your supporters and build your community, that is event promotion and support. You can plan for some live events or courses and can include all your followers and students to become part of it. And then you can also ask for volunteer recruitment. If you're organizing a live event, you can request for volunteers from your followers, from your community. They would not only be happy to volunteer, they will cheer new followers to support you and your business. All right. So these are some of the social media strategies that will take you a long way in keeping your customers engaged and nurture the relationship what you have with your audience. So I would like to know, as usual, like what are the major learnings from this session and how you are planning to engage and nurture your target audience. So do post in the comments. See you all in the next session. Stay marvelous.